An ideal work environment is a place where every team member uses their creative ideas to help the growth of the company. If members of the team stops working together due to their selfish reasons like greedy and jealousy, the work environment becomes overwhelming. What can you do if the work environment becomes overwhelming and oppressive because of an illegal conduct of a team member or a colleague? Writing a letter of complaint to management can sometimes be very stressful and challenging. This video will help you with the points you have to put in place when writing a formal complaint letter. This is Samis Network. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So if it's the first time coming to this YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and enable the notification bell. And if you like the video, don't forget to leave a like and also to comment and share. So we are going to look at the factors to consider when writing a formal complaint letter. Then after that, using the factors that we are going to discuss about, we'll see how we can now draft a sample, an example of a complaint letter. But before we begin, let's take a very short break. I'll be right back. Welcome back. How can you write a complaint letter? Here are the factors to consider when writing a complaint letter. The first factor to consider is your opening words must be formal. Remember, there are two types of letters. There's a formal letter and an informal letter. So when you are dealing with letters that has to do with organization, companies, or in short, official letters, you must use a format that is allowed, which is formal, not informal. An informal letter, it can be a friendly letter of someone you know, a friend or maybe family. But when you're writing a letter to an organization, more especially going to management, it must be formal. For example, your opening words. For example, if you don't know the person that you're writing to, you can start with words like to whom it may concern. This is when you don't know the person that you're writing to. If you know the person you're writing to, you would start with the name of that person. Dear Mr. Smith. Just like that. Then you've written your letter in a formal way. Your opening words are in a formal. Then the second factor to consider is the first paragraph. The first paragraph must explain why you are writing that letter. Remember, it's a complaint letter. So tell your reader that you are complaining. It's a complaint letter because of something that occurred. Then the second paragraph, it must explain what really occurred. Why are you upset? Why are you complaining? Give a brief. Here you can give a brief description of what occurred. Tell the recipient or the person who will be reading your letter. Tell that person why you are complaining, what really transpired that made you to complain or to be upset. Then the fourth factor that we should consider when writing a complaint letter. The third paragraph must explain how you want the recipient to help you. You are writing a letter to your manager, and you know that that manager of yours will take an action. So explain why, what you want that manager to do. You can give a description or a solution that you think can work to solve that problem that has made you to be upset. If you are complaining about a co-worker, you may give a specific action that the manager can give that would satisfy you. But when dealing with such issues, make sure you have more evidence gathered together of that situation that occurred. Then the last factor that you should consider is when signing off. Signing off depends on how you started with your first words. If you started with to whom it may concern, or dear sir or madam. Then when signing off, you may start with words like sincerely. You may start with words like yours faithfully. That means you don't know the person who will attend to your letter. Then if you started with words like Mr. Smith, dear Mr. Smith, then when signing off, you end with words like yours sincerely, because you know the person who is attending to your letter. So signing off depends on your first word. So these are the factors that you must consider when writing a complaint letter. So now we are going to do a draft and see how we can draft an example of a complaint letter. And this letter is specifically complaining about a co-worker because of maybe misconduct at work. So we are going to draft that letter. Just like any other formal letter, a complaint letter starts with the address of you, the sender. This address contains your name, your postal address, your city and state, your email address, your phone number, and the date. Then the second part of your complaint letter is the recipient's address or the receiver. This contains the recipient's name, the recipient's position, the company name, the company address, the city, state, zip code. Then the third part of your complaint letter is the subject. The subject states the formal complaint against a co-worker. That's the subject of the letter that we are going to write. Then the salutation, that's the dear sir or madam, or the recipient's name. So as we talked on the factors, the four factors that we discussed about, we saw that the first factor was saying that your first words or the beginning of the letter must be formal, and that format it starts with, if you know the person that you're writing to, it starts with dear recipient's name, dear Mr. Smith. Then if you do not know the person you're writing to, dear sir or madam. That's how a complaint letter begins, dear sir or madam. So in this case, this is the letter that is going to management. So there's a possibility that you may know the name of the person you are writing to because you are in the same organization. But there are some cases where it's a big organization which has a lot of branches, and you may not know the person who is in charge of receiving or handling that complaint that you want to file in or to write. So you may start with dear sir or madam in that case. Then the first paragraph. The first paragraph, it explains the type of a letter that you are writing. Why are you writing? And the reason for writing. So in this case, it's like, it starts like this. I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to formally lodge a complaint against a co-worker. Then you write the co-worker's name here. The full name of that co-worker that you are complaining about. Regarding their conduct and behavior in the workplace. I believe it is important to bring this matter to your attention in order to maintain a respectful and professional work environment for all employees. This is all about the first paragraph. You are explaining you are telling the recipient or the reader what to expect in this letter that you've written. It's a letter to complain about a co-worker because of a certain behavior or misconduct over something. Then now the second paragraph. This second paragraph, as we discussed, it must explain the actual things which happened. Give a description of the things with full details that occurred which made you to write this complaint letter. The specific incidents that have led to this complaint are as follows. Incident number 1. Provide a detailed description of the first incident, including dates, time, and any witness involved. That's the first incident. Remember, you are complaining about a coworker, and you may not just start with one incident. You might have a lot of evidence to show that there is really need to write a letter to management over this. Then the second incident. Describe the second incident, providing relevant details to support your complaint. Then the third incident. Outline the third incident, including pertinent information to substantiate your concerns. This is all about the second paragraph. When writing the evidence or the things which really occurred. Then I have made attempts to address these issues directly with co-worker's name. You write the name of that co-worker that you are complaining about, but unfortunately the situation has not improved. The incidents mentioned above have had a detrimental impact on my well-being, productivity, and overall job satisfaction. Moreover, I believe these actions are contrary to our company's values and code of conduct. This was all about the second paragraph now. You have described the evidence, what really occurred, the reason why you are upset, and now you are going now to the third paragraph. The third paragraph, as we discussed in those factors that we are talking about, this one now you can give what you expect. Why have you written that letter to the management? What do you want management to do about it? What action? How can we help you because of this letter that you have written? I kindly request that you conduct a thorough investigation into this matter to ensure a fair and imperial assessment. I am willing to provide any additional information or evidence that may aid in the investigation process. Meaning you have gathered some information, you have evidence which the management will need over this issue that you have raised. I also urge you to consider the potential impact of co-worker's name. Here you put the co-worker's name, behavior on the overall work environment and the well-being of other employees. Meaning that thing that you raise, it should not just affect you. It should also affect other employees as you are taking it, raising it to the top management. Then this is all about the third paragraph. Then the fourth paragraph. As an employee of the company name, I believe it is essential that all employees adhere to the policies and standards set by the organization. By addressing this complaint, you demonstrate your commitment to maintaining a respectful and harmonious workplace for everyone. Yes, so this is all about this paragraph again. Then now, another point which we talked about. What do you expect? As you have seen, everything that we have discussed is about what really occurred. But now, this paragraph that you are about to write now, it should indicate what you expect. What do you expect management to do about it? How do you trust management about that? I trust that you will handle this matter with the utmost professionalism and confidentiality. Please keep me informed of any progress or actions taken regarding this complaint. I have faith in the company's ability to address and resolve workplace issues promptly and effectively. So this is what you believe management could do after your complaint about this matter. So now then the last words now. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I appreciate your time, understanding, and commitment to ensuring a positive work environment for all employees. So these are your last words that you put in, then you sign off now. Yours sincerely. As you have seen on the factors that we talked about, if you started with the recipient's name, you end with sincerely. Then you sign and you put your name. Then this is all about writing a complaint letter. This was just a sample on how you can outline the points and put in the paragraphs as you are writing a formal complaint letter. So I hope you've taken one or two things about this. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video and share.